Yes, sir. I'm aware of who you are. Mac McGinnis with the New Canadian Cement Company. Sure, I've heard of your company. I'd be glad to help you however I could. Well, you just mentioned their name and I'll see if I've worked with them or not. You got my name from a Cindy Linus? Well, yes, she was actually a very good HR director. Actually looked after her people. She answered all questions regarding personnel. Dan Gorky, well now, he was a detailed numbers guy. He was a union member, a night owl from the north. He moved down to Chesapeake to be a manager, but he found out the water was too salty for his boat here, so he went back home to the Lake District in the north. I never had him for a manager, which was well because I'm not a numbers guy. Allison Lee, sure, I knew her when she was a Kerrigan. She made great maps for presentations when she was talking with customers. I heard that she moved up from filling water glasses for the corporate meetings to lead the in-house sales training program. She's a great gal. She's a hard worker. Mike Strecker, well, you know he's a German immigrant. He was a loose cannon traveling around the U.S. with a male friend. Luckily, he married a Spanish aristocrat, and she settled him down. He's still nervous as a cat in a dog pound. Bought me a wool cap one time from Peru, where he and his Spanish aristocrat were the first to use the Airbnb business in that country. He's a hard worker, but he dances like the girl on Seinfeld. Melissa Harrison, they ran that poor girl up and down the East Coast like a Greyhound bus route. From Holly Hill, North Carolina, to Norfolk, Baltimore, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, they wore her out. Last I heard, she was making top shelf whiskey with her husband in the hills of Georgia. Please don't ask me any more about that. Bruce Blair, I think he's in charge, he was in charge of technical stuff. He taught Henry Pringer all he knows, except how to say no. No, he did not have a head of hair like Ray Wellahan. Of course, who did? Last time I saw Bruce, he was bald as a newborn. But he was fighting something back then, I think. Head lice it was, I think. Was he hands-on with people? Yes, sir, both of them. Big as Yogi Bear's catcher's mitts. Fingers so thick, he couldn't pick a horse's nose. A work ethic? Well, number one, he's also a Canuck. And they work harder because they want to measure up to the U.S. guys. But he has a big family, lots of college payments, so he's going to put in all the extra hours. He's a strong man, a fighter. He beat the head lice at that game. He's still going strong. A sense of humor? Well, I was never in his circle of workers, but I was at a few meetings when I could see him after hours. He smiles more than he laughs, but his smile is a mile wide and relaxed, and it lights up the whole room. And then that puts the twinkle in his eye. You'd swear he was Irish. I never heard a discouraging word mentioned around his name, or a coworker that didn't trust him. And that's high marks in the corporate world. And if he ever gets struck below the Mason-Dixon line, I hope that he knows that he and his family will always have a food, drink, and a place to rest in Windsor, Virginia. Oh, and if I could be with him now, I would give him a hug. I'd whisper in his ear, and I'd say, I'd ride the river with you, Bruce, and be happy for it. All best in your new endeavors, good health and happiness. Godspeed to your family all. Keep your gunpowder dry, your fishing line tight. Stay off the skyline. Never bed down where you eat, and watch your back trail.
Bruce, I wish you well in your retirement or your next adventure. It was really great working with you. You were always a gentleman. Best of luck.